Virgil, can you address that, since you're the one that's got to figure out what to tell him to do, maybe slightly different, or to switch things up ever so slightly to throw him off a little bit, since you already saw each other the first fight for 12 rounds?
Well, the opponent definitely won't see the same fighter in this fight for a number of reasons. No need to disclose, but we always go in with several plans, or any plan that needs to be implemented at any given time. So that's always been there. And of course, I'm not going to ask him to do anything that I know he can't do, or hasn't worked on, or hasn't practiced. So we're fortunate enough to be able to adjust and also adapt. So taking those same ingredients into the fight, I believe that what we worked on for Plan A is going to be more than enough.
Virgil, I want to ask you one other question. You touched on it a little bit when one of the other questioners asked you about the fact that you were in Montreal for Fanfare on Saturday. You were the previous day, I guess, you were in Paris for Tony Yoka's pro debut. He looked good. I watched that fight. So I know that Andre is a professional, that he's been without you, whatever. But I'm curious, just from the standpoint from your workload, your travel, the weariness of crossing all those time zones over a span of like a week, and having to be back in the gym and be there for your fighters, whether it's Andre, whether it's Yoka, whether it was Fanfare. Just how is it for you as a trainer to handle that aspect of the job?
Well, weariness doesn't come with the travel that I do. When I know I'm going to travel, I'm always prepared ahead of time, whether it be to increase my melatonin intake. But I found, since I've done it so much, I found out that when I'm sleepy, I'll sleep. And if I'm up, I'm up. It doesn't matter what time it is or what day it is. I try not to be on a schedule like I am at home. So that works for me.
Okay. And just one other question. It's going to be Andre's first rematch of his career. He's had, this will be his 32nd professional fight. And this is the first time he's having a rematch, mainly because the other fights were never close. So from your standpoint as the trainer, is there anything different going into to preparing for a rematch as opposed to an opponent you've never had your guy in the ring with before?
Well, in the amateurs, when you're at the top level and you fight at top level and you go into national tournaments, you tend to see some opponents more than once and more than twice, which has occurred in the amateurs. So in a sense, he has had rematches. As far as this rematch is concerned, all I can say is, oh boy. That's all I can say.
What does that mean exactly?
You'll see. Oh boy. Okay.
All right. Thank you, Virgil. Thank you, Andre. Okay. Look forward to seeing you guys next week. Appreciate your time.
All right.
Our next question is going to come from Daniel Rausch from the Men's Fitness Magazine. Please go ahead.
Hey, Virgil, I have a question for you, sir. First and foremost, thanks for being a coach that works with people from the ground up. I remember you invited me to East Oakland Boxing Club back that time. Is there any danger that, in the rematch you don't have the fear, the trepidation you had going into the first match? Is there any fear that you get too confident?
Well, there wasn't any fear or trepidation going into the first match. You can't have that. Of course, you're aware of what the opponent brings. We're aware that you have a bigger opponent, a stronger opponent, opponent that can punch. We're aware of all of that, but we've been through that before. I mean, when he fought in the Olympics at light heavyweight, people don't know, or they never acknowledge the fact that he was only 170 pounds. So he was giving up weight, height, and size there. So he's used to it. He's accustomed to it. And because of his physical strength and his stamina and his IQ, he's able to overcome all these so-called advantages that the other fighter might have. So once again, we respect our opponents, and we respect Kovalev on what he has done and what he's capable of doing. And it's a healthy respect, but it's not a respect that's going to stop him from getting smashed June 17th.
Not to ask the same question that the last reporter did, or to give away any national secrets, but are you going to do anything in the rematch to try to take the jab away and take the right hand away more than in the first bout?
Well, we took the right hand away after the second round. I think if anybody watches that fight, they'll see that going to do. Other than we're prepared, and whatever comes our way, if we need to adapt to certain things, we'll adapt. If not, we'll keep rolling. So it's